Hello, my angels. Today's video, it was kind of a last minute one that I decided to do, but I'm going to put a very big disclaimer up now. I will be talking about sex trafficking, rape, and molestation. I'm hoping that if you've suffered any of this, that you will watch this, especially if you're blaming yourself, because I think it's very important that you know that it's not your fault. I've suffered all three, so I know what you're going through. No one knows the extent of what anyone goes through, so you can't say that you know exactly what that person's going through, because nobody does. Nobody knows exactly what I go through, but it's important that we talk about it. We get it out there. We bring awareness, and we get rid of certain stigmas, and most importantly, that we talk about how it is not the victim's fault. I don't care how it came about. It is absolutely, unequivocally not the victim's fault. So I hope, if this is too much for you right now, I understand. You know, if it's too much, then don't watch it. Just if you need someone to talk to, then please just message me or message some community help in your neighborhood. Either way, please just get help, okay? But I'm going to be talking about my own experiences, and I hope that you will hear what I have to say and then comment if you want to offer advice, if you need advice. This is a safe place for people to talk. I will not tolerate any rude, bullying, nasty remarks, nothing. This is a safe place for people to come and talk about this, okay? So I hope that you will listen to what I have to say and then let me know if there's something that you want to talk about, okay? This is a safe place. We can talk about anything. So I hope to see you there. So I brought this up today because I talked to a friend of mine at school tonight. I'm not even sure how the subject came up, but the first time I was molested, I was 6 years old. It happened numerous times after that. By the time I was 16, I was being raped. And through the course of my life up to about, I'd say about 13 years ago, was the last time. For some people, for me, it became a way of life. That was just how it was for me. That's why I was born. For a long time, that's what I thought. I just was not meant for love. That the only thing men ever wanted from me was me being able to get them off and for them to hurt me. So I became an addict. I lost everything, including my self-respect. When I was in my 30s, I got sex trafficked by a man who I thought loved me, and he wanted to take me off the streets and take care of me and help me, and didn't end up like that. it wasn't until I had already had 2 daughters who I raised for the first 10 years of their life. Well, my youngest daughter, I was sent away from her when she was about 3. My other daughter, she was 11. I apologize. My youngest daughter was 5. When I was sent away from them to get help 2,000 miles away, when you spend your life from the time you're a little girl and all you ever want to be is a mother, and then you have those angels and they're your reason for living, and then they're taken from you, there is nothing you have to live for, especially after you've endured hell. They were the only things that kept you going. So when I was taken from them or sent away from them, we still talked every day, but I didn't have them to hold and kiss and hug and play with, and just that bond that you need to get through every single day. And I became a worse addict, and certain people's idea of helping me was just send her away, get her away from us, so that's how I felt. So it took me a long time. It wasn't until I had my now 7-year-old son, who most of you know, you've seen him in the videos, Aislinn, who has special needs. He saved my life. And it's not that my other girls didn't. They saved my life in many ways. But Aislinn, when I had him, he was there. He was physical. I could touch him. I wasn't ripped away from him. So he saved my life. Him and his sisters kept me going. And I've worked my ass off to get where I am today. Do I still have guilt and shame and regret and disgust? I have all of those. It is you don't just get over that. But I can honestly say, living on the street and going through what I went through, it hardened me to the point where I didn't let myself really feel anything, and it actually worked in my favor because it helped me. As messed up as it sounds, it helped me to overcome certain things. I can't really explain it, but it kind of backfired later because I became very angry. I was very angry all the time. The littlest thing would set me off, and I would just, like, this rage would just come out of me. And I still have a bit of that. I still have triggers. I was diagnosed with PTSD. I've definitely come a long way, and that's because of Aislinn. Because with his ADHD, I had to learn to be calm and patient, something I was never very good at. So the one thing that I had the hardest time with was blaming myself. What could I have done different? Why didn't I fight? Why didn't I do this? Why didn't I do that? First time I was 6 years old. You can't fight back at 6 years old. You replay it in your head, and, well, what if I did this, and what if I did that? And, I was 6 years old, and somebody should have been there to protect me, and they weren't. So then I became an adult, and I'm like, well, you're an adult, so it is your fault. It is not your fault that there are evil people in the world. It is not your fault that someone overpowered you and took what was rightfully yours. It is not your fault that you trusted somebody to love you and they betrayed you in the worst way. So you can beat yourself up and think of all the million what ifs, or you can look at yourself and pretend that you are that little girl that no one protected. And you have to teach your mind, I guess I'm trying to explain this the best way I know how, is you yourself would never let anyone hurt a child in your presence. You would not allow it. You were an innocent child, teenager, adult who did not deserve to go through that. And it was your inner child that has suffered because you were scared and you didn't have the power to stop what was happening. So you need to look at that person within you and think of them as a child that you need to protect, that you want to protect. I hope this is making sense, because to me it is, because it's what helped me. I had to see myself as that little girl that I wanted to protect, but not only that I wanted to protect, that I needed to protect, that deserved to be protected. You have to find a way to love yourself enough to say, it was not your fault. You deserve better. You deserved somebody to be there to protect you. So, I don't care if you have to look in a mirror every day. If you have to put Post-its all over the wall, and I'm coming up with these because I did them myself. I had Post-its everywhere. You are beautiful. It's not your fault. You deserve better. You deserve love. You are smart. You are talented. I put them up everywhere. Am I better? No. Am I better? Yes. But am I where I want to be? No. But it's a work in progress. You have to learn to trust again. But this time, you're trusting yourself because you deserve it. So, pretend that you are that little girl or little boy that deserved protecting, that didn't get protected, and you are now shielding them from it ever happening again. And you are telling them it wasn't your fault. It wasn't your fault. It wasn't your fault. And keep saying it and hug yourself. I did. And I would sit there and look in the mirror and talk to myself like I was a little girl, another person. And it helped me. It helped me a lot. So I guess the point of the video is you have to find a way to forgive yourself because you didn't do anything wrong. And you still have your whole life ahead of you. You don't want to waste it feeling like you don't deserve it. You're not the bad guy. The bad guy is the one that hurt you, or woman, because women rape too. So I want you guys to talk, to offer support, to share your story if and when you're ready, because the more people know they're not alone, the more people that are supportive, the more people will be healed. or they will be on the healing process. My social media pages, my messenger, my email are always open. I will always reply, and I will always be there for all of you, anytime, day or night. I am going to talk about this every day. I'm going to talk about this. I'm going to talk about ADHD. I'm going to talk about mental illness. I'm going to talk about addiction until the day I leave this world, because I'm going to do whatever it takes to bring awareness, to educate people. I don't care if it's one person. The more people we educate, the more people that can stand back and say, wow, I never saw it that way, or I didn't know that they endured that, or I didn't know that they were suffering. You know, they didn't act like it, or, you know, you never know what is going on in someone's life. You have no idea. And if someone's lashing out at you, there's a reason. For most of humanity, people aren't mean just to be mean. They're mean because they have a story, because they have something that they've gone through, and they're obviously not getting the help they need. It has literally happened millions of times where a smile, one kind word has literally saved a life. Next to my children, there is one person on this planet that is the reason that I am alive today, sharing my story. I've never met this man, but for 20 years, he has saved my life over and over. He has brought me hope. He has taught me that not every man is evil, that there is kindness and compassion and love and understanding from people, even people we don't know. So please, share your stories, talk about it. Do educate people. And if you see someone hurting, please, please do not turn a blind eye and say, it's not my business, because it is. It's our business, because the more people we support, the more understanding we become, the more educated, the more compassionate, the more people will know they're not alone and that people do actually care. That's the future I want for my children. And I know that's what you want for your children. And the only people that can give them that is us. That's our job, to make sure that they have a good, happy, healthy, safe future. I am putting together, it's going to take some time, but I'm working with some people to put together a fundraiser. All the proceeds will be going to places like Chad, but I'm also going to be working with sexual assault organizations. I cannot think of the name of it right now, but I just signed up for another organization for mental health awareness, so I can volunteer. I am doing everything I can to make this my mission in life. My book is going to be published in January, February about my life, and I will be traveling and talking about my story and my book and bringing awareness and educating. And this is what I'm going to do with the rest of my life. I am going to do my part to try to make the world a better place for my children and for you. I hope that you will join me. Thanks for listening, and please comment. This is a safe place. I won't tolerate any kind of cruel or people being mean or saying nasty things or being unsupportive in any way. So please, open up. Let me know what you're thinking. I love you all very much. And remember, you are not alone. Mama Bear is just a message away.